there was a nice read about Moose too. I sent it to you guys in the Athletic. Pretty cool story about him. And there was another story about the Lightning. They're said to be the sharpest dressed team in the league. Sweden, obviously, those guys dress great. They're a huge influence in the room. Victor Hedman says Austin Matthews is probably the most fashionable guy in the league, Biz. And I guess Sergachev bought ostrich boots for the outdoor game down in Nashville, but they also had him in a pair of Jinko jeans. What are they called? Is it Jinko jeans? Gee, those fucking big, hideous ones. So I don't know. Have you guys heard this? Tampa's the best dressed team in the league, Biz? And is that true, you think, or what?
I think of Killorn. I think of a very well-dressed guy. I think of Stammer, Hedman, yes. And yeah, going down the list, I would probably have to say they probably would have stuck out as one of the top tier ones. Other teams, who would you think of who would be the most fashionable?
I don't know. I think the only reason you're even thinking of Tampa is because they've played so many games in the last few years that you see them walking into the arena so often. Whereas like other teams, you just haven't seen that many outfits. But then you also got a guy like Maroon who's walking in with the fedora with, he's kind of like a little tiny bit overweight. So he's got that look going for him too. So they got a lot of different types of looks walking in. I feel like we also see Boston a lot, and then you see Pasta with all the fancy ones. I feel like Marchand's always got the black on black with the Johnny Cash looking like the villain.
Toronto, Biz. How can you leave out Toronto? Like William Nylander, Matthews, like they're stacked there too.
Yeah, so I'm not the hugest hype beast. They get a little bit more into like the newer trends that are very trendy and not as classic looking. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with some of the stuff that they rock.
What's the most you ever seen a guy drop on a suit with?
Biz's $3,000 cowboy hat.
No. I don't even think it was that much.
Suit?
But anyway.
Yeah, like a suit or a spree, perhaps.
I don't know. That guy in Montreal was taking everyone to the cleaners, and everyone had the same suits and ties. Remember that, Biz?
Yep.
No pun intended.
I can't think of anything. Although the one funny picture of the Lightning, it was Kucherov, Sergachev, and Vasilevsky. They looked like city slickers. They looked like Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future when he goes back to the old Western days and he's got like plastic boots on. They looked good, but it was just hilarious. These three Russians in the jeans.
I bet you the most expensive suits were probably in Malkin's closet.
I was just gonna say Gino probably had some sick ones
because he would have new Louis Vuittons on every couple weeks. He would spend it on clothes. Now, as far as the suits are concerned, he wouldn't have a ton of them, but they would all be high level, like Tom Ford or like Dolce & Gabbana. I don't know what other high end.
So
brands.
in my opinion, Biz, like spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a suit is just so stupid because I just think there's a suit you could spend 10 grand on, and then you could probably buy a very, very similar suit for $1,500 and look the exact same to the layman eye, if that makes it's one of those things.
More variety than spending 10 on one suit. I would say that Henrik Lundqvist probably has some very expensive suits. He
might be the best dressed NHL player of all time.
It might be like a bottle of wine. You can't tell the difference between a $1,000 suit and a $10,000 suit. Similar like a $30 bottle of wine and a $300 bottle of wine.
Yeah, I can on wine. I can.
Ooh, Lordy.
I don't have scumbag taste like
you know who was one of the classier dressers? Zetterberg.
Yeah.
He would always have that perfectly manicured beard. He kind of looks like Jake Gyllenhaal a little.
Yeah.
We went on a golf trip in Europe. It was like the perfect, the 55-degree European day. He's got the sweater on, like he's just the tight gray pants. Like I'm kind of getting hard talking about him. Ooh. Fucking Zetterberg. Ooh. He always looked unreal.
Who wore the ugliest suit you ever seen?
I would say Rob Scuderi. We've talked about him before. He just didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I still think that when I had my suit, when I got traded to Edmonton, it just so happened to have like a dark navy blue suit with the faintest, like lightest orange pinstripe. That sounds so ridiculous, but if you saw me from a distance, you wouldn't even know that like the color was in the stripe. But that there was even like a pinstripe because it was so faint. But then sitting down on the plane and Horkoff's like, Oh, that's nice. You got an Oilers colored suit that you're wearing to the first game as an Oiler. Like that was probably an ugly suit looking back on that now. I caught some heat for that.
I would say easily the worst dresser I've ever played with is Radoslav Klesla. And the fact that he made as much as he did and dressed this bad, he was just like cargo shorts that would go past his knee with the string hanging down. Also the ones that would have it looked like an old quilt and it would have all the different patches, those types of shorts.
Yeah.
He would always be wearing runners, but with ankle socks that came up a little bit, but they were white ankle socks. It looked like he washed and dried with the black load. Sometimes exposing the Nike check mark, and he was wearing Adidas shoes, which also kind of drives me nuts. It drives me bananas. He would have that get up on the lower half with sometimes like a Tommy Bahama button up that was maybe one size too big. It was just like Aeropostale or an Abercrombie t-shirt every now and then wouldn't have surprised me. I was just flabbergasted. The combos that he would have on too, just like all the colors and shit. I
had these Nike really golf shoes once, these sick Nike golf shoes, and I somehow only brought socks that had an Adidas logo on them, and I was like, all right, no. So I went in the pro shop, and they only had socks with a FootJoy logo on them, and I said no. So I wore them barefoot. It was 95 degrees, ruined the shoes. I don't think I ever wore them again because I was unwilling. Because if you're wearing Nike shoes or Adidas shoes and you wear another company's socks, that for me is one of the worst looks in the world.
You should be shot into outer space. I think that would be a fair punishment.
Biz, I was in CVS the other day picking up a script, and a woman behind me said, "Hey, where'd you get those sneakers? I really like them." I bought my Asics that you bought me in Toronto.
Really?
So, yeah, I swear to God.
Right, don't be wearing those with Nike or Adidas ankle socks.
That's not a problem. I don't own any logoed socks.
Dude, he wears like Walmart tube socks. He's not having logoed socks.
I wear Bobo logo socks. No, not even kidding, Biz. Like a lot of people did, and even that night in Toronto, everybody who came to the line was dap me up for the sneakers you bought me. So good style.
They look good, buddy.
Classy move, Biz. Nice kicks, all right. I like them.
Thank you, buddy.